All right, how you doing, everybody? This is Mr. Puckett. I'm here to talk about sports entertainment, mainly wrestling. We will touch on a few MMA subjects from time to time as we go on through here. Hey, we may even talk about the top strip clubs in the state of Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Florida, whatever. Anything that involves sports and adult entertainment, you're going to see it right here every week. Once again, my name is Mr. Puckett. That's what I'm here to talk about. Right now, we're going to move on to a little column I like to call What's Hot, Who's Not. That involves all things female in the sports entertainment world. Right now, what's hot is Sarah Stock. Now, I'm not sure what TNA's calling her because they can't own the name Sarah Stock, but that girl debuted tonight on Impact, and she was absolutely phenomenal. She may be the missing part that TNA has been missing since they lost Gail Kim to the WWE. Also, another woman that we have that is hot is Victoria or Tara, whatever you want to call her, the new Knockouts champion. She won that belt last week on Impact from Angelina Love. Victoria was very heartfelt in her acceptance speech of winning that title. She was very happy. And I'm glad to see that Victoria is extremely happy because she deserves it. She gave a lot of herself to the WWE, her knees to the WWE, and now she deserves a little success with TNA. Let's talk about who's not. And it's not that the girls aren't hot, it's that the girls can't wrestle, and that's the Bella Twins. Those girls are absolutely gorgeous, but they have no business in a wrestling ring right now. Ladies, if you want to do something entertainment, here's the thought. Let's go to a strip club, apply for, to work there, or maybe go into adult film. I'm sure Vivid could use some new girls, especially two twins. And, we'll be willing to do what it takes to make $1. All right, next we're going to move on to my top 5. In my top 5 breakdown, I'm going to go through the WWE, TNA, and ROH, the quote-unquote big three of North America. We're going to start with the juggernaut, World Wrestling Entertainment. My number 1 for the week right now, it's coming as a tie with Y2J, Chris Jericho, and Rey Mysterio Jr. Last Friday night on SmackDown, those two probably put on the best wrestling match you will ever see for free on television and not have to pay for it. That's right, it was not even a pay-per-view match, and it was excellent. Those two guys are on the perfect show with the perfect cast to really make that whole show work. Get the new guys over, get the future ready to happen now, because that's what needs to be going on everywhere. The future is now. Why wait till tomorrow? We can put them out there today. Speaking of the future, and the future being now, the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. Yeah, he got stuck in the match with the Great Khali, and nobody really knows who won that match because, it was a cluster towards the end. But Punk's promo before that, cutting down Jeff Hardy, that was awesome. The best part about that feud with Punk and Hardy right now is the simple fact is the heel is Punk, and he's a heel because he says no to drugs, but he's arrogant about it. The face is Jeff Hardy, a 2-time loser who has been in rehab and shot anything in his arm and up his nose that he could get to get the current high. What doesn't quite equal out there in the little PG land of WWE. Not quite sure. Number 3 is a guy I'm extremely high on. That is Dolph Ziggler. Who would have ever thought a member of the Spirit Squad, whose name wasn't Ken Dome, was going to be a star? Dolph Ziggler proved everybody wrong, folks. He has the right attitude, that smirk, that arrogant look. His in-ring ability really isn't that bad. It's really quite good. He's getting a lot better every week. I'm anxious to see him and Mysterio go at it at Night of Champions. I think that's going to be a great match. Might steal the show if they get enough time to go. Number 4 is Jack Swagger. That's right, Mr. Swagger. Put down MVP on Monday Night Raw. The only thing that was worth watching on Monday Night Raw this past week was Jack Swagger MVP. Remember that MVP main event push we all thought was coming? Looks like he must have said something wrong to somebody watching a piss test again because MVP got pinned rather clean by Mr. Swagger on Monday night. And number 5 coming in off ECW. I got to put one of the ECW guys on there. And it's going to be one of my personal favorites, Shelton Benjamin, King Christian this week. the #1 contender for the ECW heavyweight title, pinned and clean. Great match. Moving on to total nonstop action wrestling. #1 is AJ Styles. AJ Styles, he's the next guy, I guess, for TNA. They're going to try to push up to that main event status. Me personally, I'd be looking for #2, and that's Christopher Daniels to be going on that top spot. #3 is Samoa Joe, beat down Sting. What can you say? Who hasn't been beating down Sting lately? And #4, these guys will be in my top 5 till the day I die or they break up as a tag team. And with Vince Russo doing the booking, that's only a matter of time before beer money separates. But right now, I'm living it up. Beer money is the greatest thing in tag team wrestling today, maybe in the history of the game. And #5, Mr. Kurt Angle. Angle, he could get a good match out of a broom, and he almost did with Mick Foley and Jeff Jarrett this past week on Impact until it became an overbooked mess. But that's TNA for you, so very good for the overbooked mess. And next, moving on to ROH. You want to get down to just straight up wrestling. There is nothing better than Ring of Honor. #1 in the ROH Foundation is Double A, Austin Aries. Or I should say A double Austin Aries, because he is. TNA should be kicking themselves square in their butts for not keeping Austin around, because he's pretty much doing the Austin Star gimmick in ROH right now. He's just ruling ROH with it. #2 is the most talented man on the ROH roster, and that's Tyler Black. He has all the physical, God-given gifts to be the man in ROH. He just needs to work on that personality a little bit. Every now and then when Tyler cuts a promo, it comes off a little lame. And I know Tyler's not lame. I've read a lot of his blogs and stuff, and he could get that to come out of his mouth. He would be all right. #3 is the ROH legend, Bryan Danielson. The American Dragon, his future with ROH is not too concrete right now. There's a lot of rumors floating around that he might be heading to the E. I would personally like to see him head to TNA, so maybe they can get rid of some Kevin Nash and some Scott Steiner and Booker T and add in to replace that with a little Bryan Danielson. Tell me you wouldn't pay money to see Bryan Danielson and Kurt Angle get it on one time in a submission match. I would. #4, Nigel McGuinness. Nigel is coming back off some very serious injuries to both arms, and we know how valuable those arms are to Nigel, because without an arm you can't throw a lariat. And I don't care what anybody says, Nigel McGuinness, his lariats, they're awesome. And #5 is the next big thing in ROH, and that's Davey Richards. He's in a tag team right now, the American Wolves. That's all right, but I would like to see Davey kind of break off and make a singles run. Davey's got the right attitude. He's a little small, but Davey is flat out, pound for pound, probably one of the best athletes in the business today. Now we got the top 5 over with. Let's move on to the burning question of the week. The burning question of the week is, why is Raw failing? Let me tell you why Raw is failing right now, just as quick as I can. This whole guest host thing was a good idea, in theory. You get a different face out there, somebody new to mix it up. Seth Green was funny, ha. He was entertaining, but the show really fell flat when you put Seth Green in the ring. That didn't work for me. I don't think it worked for a lot of people out there. Raw needs to have a face, a general manager that is there every year to help keep the storylines progressing and staying on track. And not have these constant train wrecks like we've been having the past couple weeks. I would like to see Ric Flair step into that GM role. I think he would be ideal.